You see, don't worry too much about the book form, because that's figure in ground. Now, the ground is different. The book, the post-literate book, exists in another ground. The early book had a ground.
That's interesting.
Well, after all, this is what I'm saying at all times, that the figure-ground relationship is the all-important one. The book existed in a ground of semi-literacy. That had a very different, that was a tremendous excitement and possibility. We can all become literate. And they were surging forward, hoping to make progress. They thought of this as progress. Nobody would ever think about progress. By the way, the word progress is not capable of being used anymore.
No, that's
in a multi-directional world, you cannot have progress.
You can talk about expansion, but
you can talk about improvement of some satisfaction. But they now talk about quality of life, which again is not progress.
Right. No, by definition, progress is a linear.
It's just leaving something behind.
Right.
Going right ahead and leaving things behind you. You progress by abandoning the situation.
Okay, we'll come back to that.
That's the only way you can progress. Is by leaving. You can't take it with you.
No, absolutely.
You leave it behind.
Don't we leave behind things now?
No, we can't anymore. Because now the situation is total. All our sins have caught up with us now. At the speed of light, you can't leave anything behind. No, that's why we have. That's why we have pollution. Pollution is the sudden discovery that you can't leave things behind.
But they catch up with you.
They collect and they catch up with you. Now, pollution is not new in the world, but the awareness of it is new.
It's like changing the temperature in a room. It doesn't matter what's in the room at all, or what pictures are on the wall, or who's in the room. If the temperature drops 40 degrees suddenly, the effect on our outlook, our attitudes, profound.
As they understand your view, you really don't think that changing the contents of television would change much this process?
No. But you may have seen a New Yorker joke. A couple are watching TV, and one says, "When you think of the vast educational potential of TV, aren't you glad it doesn't?" This is based on the assumption, you see, that it's the content that does the educating, not the medium.
All situations are made up of an area of attention called figure.
I was not using figure ground in the early time of when I wrote this book. I was not using figure ground. Now I have switched completely to figure ground. It was implied in here, but it was not explicit.
Right.
And a larger area of inattention.
Now, the world of the icon. I used that phrase, "the medium is the message," at a radio conference in 1957, when they were very much afraid that they were finished, that TV was taking over.
Yeah.
And that's when I told the radio people. It was a radio conference in Vancouver. And that's what I told them. You have nothing to fear at all. The radio medium is unique, and the medium is the message.
And therefore
you're safe. Nothing could ever take it away from you.
But does that apply to the printed press?
Certainly. But it ceases to be a monopoly. It becomes competitive. In a multi-sensuous environment, it only plays one role.
The medium is the message, right? The sentence is the medium. So the message doesn't matter so much.
Now the medium, it took me a long time to find out what that meant.
Yes? It's difficult also to read.
It took me quite a while. I was right, but I didn't know why.
So you do believe in intuition very much?
Well, after all, it just means seeing.
This was recorded on the 14th.
The future of the book is very much in the order of book as information service.
Ideas. I mean,
yes.
He just does this kind
of a lot of his books are almost a pastiche of quotation, aren't they?
Right, and he takes great pains to let you know that he's not saying that he did all this.
No, that's very
himself. But he does have this kind of quality of monomania, and I think that's one reason he picks up adherents so fast, because he is a very serious person without being arrogant face to face.
Yeah.
And I never will forget being in the offices of Howard Gossett, who was really his great, one of his great heralds in the West Coast. And there were about 6 or 8 of us sitting in Howard Gossage's office with McLuhan sitting.
And now, for your listening pleasure, a few moments of pure digital silence.
The pun as a form of retrieval brushes various layers and contexts together and creates a new discovery pattern.
Some of my puns are trivial. And some are quadrivial. Now, he meant not some of my puns seem to be silly, the way we talk about something's trivial, but he meant some of them are rooted in speech, and then he's punning again. Some of them have to do with music, astronomy, mathematics, and so forth.
Strong that it now has to import skill and services from the real-world economy. Players like Anshe Chung, and indeed all players in Second Life, are not just consumers of game content. They are at once developers, community members,